right now.
A San Antonio scorcher. We've already seen 7 days of triple digits so far this year. What meteorologist Adam Caskey has to say about this trend. Plus.
I didn't take no plea deal. I didn't, take anything. That's why I'm fighting for my life right now, because I'm innocent.
For the first time ever, the man convicted of a double murder speaks from death row. The third part in South Texas crime Tacoland murders begins tonight. But first.
It is an effort to remember, to honor, and to spark change. Funerals continue nearly 2 weeks since the school shooting in Uvalde, and more people are coming forward with their stories.
Now, tonight, a teacher who survived that shooting is sharing what he experienced in an exclusive interview. Adnulfo Reyes spoke with ABC's Amy Robach. He described telling his students to pretend to sleep before he came face to face with a gunman. Reyes then recalls being shot in the back. He says that he heard kids in the next classroom over calling for help, and at that point, he thinks officers had retreated down the hallway.
One of the students from the next door classroom was saying, "Officer, we're in here. We're in here." But they had already left. And then he got up from behind my desk, and he walked over there and he shot over there again.
Gunman had gone back into one of the classrooms and fired more shots. 19 students and 2 teachers were killed. We're also taking a moment to remember Uvalde, where families continue to bury their children. Today, a funeral was held for Eliana Garcia. She was about to turn 10 years old. She was looking forward to her quinceañera. Her family says that she wanted to be a cheerleader. She loved to dance, play sports, and spend time with family. And as we continue to remember the victims, nearly 2 weeks later, Anne-Marie Jo Garza's biological father is sitting down with the night team's Lee Waldman.
He is vowing not to let his daughter's death be in vain.
I think me and her, we had that very special connection.
The painting of her smiling makes it feel like little Anne-Marie Jo Garza is still in her father's living room.
Still have her clothes in the closet. Still have her sandals there.
We asked about the day Anne-Marie was born, May 10th, 2012. Her father, Alfred Garza, and stepmom, Viviana Granados, couldn't help but share a laugh.
The day she was born was very, very emotional. Probably just as much as emotional the day I said bye.
From a young age, he wanted to be a dad. Anne-Marie made that dream a reality.
I mean, that's the best title I've ever had, as father.
Anne-Marie was the first of the 21 victims killed inside of Robb Elementary to be buried. The Girl Scouts of Southwest Texas posthumously awarded her the Bronze Cross, saying she did all she could to save the lives of her classmates and teachers.
For her to be honored that, it makes me proud.
Anne-Marie's cross in downtown Uvalde is covered in flowers and other tributes. Alfred Garza is now a part of a unique family, one filled with the heartbreak of losing a loved one in a mass shooting.
We can't just say, oh, this happened and just sweep it down the rug. No, something has to change.
Garza and his lawyers sent a letter to Daniel Defense, the makers of the AR-15 allegedly used by the Uvalde shooter, demanding information on their marketing to teens. He promises to make the information public and to keep fighting for justice for his baby girl.
I don't want my daughter's name tarnished by just how she died. I prefer to remember how she lived.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Anne-Marie Jo Garza. Remember her name. The list of visitations and funerals on our website on KSAT.com. We also have a list of the official funds for the victims in Uvalde if you would like to donate to help.
Now we're also tracking another big story tonight, and that is the heat. Those triple digits force people to take shelter in the shade or even indoors with air conditioning. That is the place to be.
That is the place to be. It also prompted CPS Energy to use a new color-coded conservation notification program. By the way, the utility now placing the community in the yellow category, asking customers to conserve energy between 2 in the afternoon and 7 at night this entire week. You can do that by avoiding using the washer and dryer between those times, as an example. And the call for conservation coming as we expect to see triple digits throughout this week.
Meteorologist Adam Caskey is tracking this for us. Adam, last time we checked the calendar, it's not even officially summer yet. So is this a normal trend?
Well, no. I mean, look back at May, 8 record high temperatures, the hottest May we had on record, August-like heat in parts of May, and now early June. August like heat. 7 100-degree days so far this year. Now, here's the importance of that number. The average annual number of 100-degree days is 9. Okay, we're going to be beyond that just later on this week. Now, to put it in perspective, the most 100-degree days, 59 back in 2009. Second place, 57 back in 2011. And third place was 41 back in 2013. But at this trend, we may at least break top 5, maybe top 3 by the end of the summer. Here's another interesting stat. This is the earliest on record we've had this many 100-degree days, at least up to June 10th. The number of 100-degree days before June 10th. Previously, the highest amount was 6. Now we're already at 7, and of course we'll be adding to that. It was a record-breaking day today. We'll break down the records and talk about how they're going to compare to the rest of the week and what other records are likely to fall. Coming right up.
Adam, thank you. You know, if this heat is tough for you, just imagine how it is for firefighters. You know, they got to wear all that gear. They had to face it while fighting a fast-moving fire in a San Antonio neighborhood. This fire started at a home on Neptune Street, then spread next door. The Night Team's Patty Santos shows us the video that helped alert the next-door neighbor.
Home surveillance cameras show the moment a woman and her 4-month-old baby escaped a house fire as smoke quickly begins to consume their house.
Well, we had a camera at the door, by the door, and he sees a whole bunch of smoke. And so he calls me saying that there's a fire at the house.
That woman running is Marisela Acosta's sister and her newborn baby.
Thank God she was out safe.
You can also see a neighbor rushing over to alert her. Plumes of smoke coming from these homes on Neptune Street could be seen for miles. The flames so loud and intense, the fire spread quickly, causing neighbors to panic.
That house caught on fire, the other house caught on fire. I was trying to call 911. I couldn't get through.
San Antonio fire crews say 3 people in the house next door got out safely, including a young woman who pushed an air conditioning unit out a window to escape. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but 2 homes were damaged along with a carport and a vehicle. Acosta is grateful her sister, baby, and neighbors are all okay.
This is, you know, it's sad, right? Because it's my house. But the important thing is that nobody was hurt. A house can be replaced.
But she says nothing beats technology and good neighbors.
If you have cameras, put it on there, it alerts you. Be friends with your neighbors because, you know, they keep an eye out.
And Acosta says her family does have insurance and they're working with the Red Cross right now to be able to get a place to stay for the next few days. As this heat continues, firefighters remind everyone to make sure they have working smoke detectors in every room in their homes. And with the kids being out in the summer, make sure that you keep anything dangerous that could be flammable that they could get in trouble with away from them. Steve, Stephania.
And be nice to your neighbors. Thank you, Patty. Developing tonight, a San Antonio family demanding to see police video in the shooting death of their 13-year-old. Linda Espinoza says her son, Andre Hernandez Jr., was no angel, but he did not deserve to be killed. That's the mother's words. Police say the 13-year-old in a stolen vehicle was shot after he crashed that vehicle into a patrol car back on Friday. Espinoza says she feels like she's been left in the dark when it comes to details about this case.
Police never notified me nothing. It was the hospital that notified me that my son was at the hospital.
They're not trying to paint him as an angel. What they're saying is, if this happened the way police are saying, then let us see the videos. And I think that that's any family, you know, any family wants answers.
And by the way, Linda Espinoza, also the mother of a 16-year-old daughter who was found shot in the back of a stolen vehicle in May. A suspect has not been arrested in that case, and a motive also remains unclear.
Now for a look at your headlines in your Nightbeat news flash. A murder suspect got away on a bicycle, That's what police say happened in Jordanton, and now they're looking for this man. This is 44-year-old Luis Daniel Rodriguez. We only have limited details in this case. Jordanton police say that Rodriguez was seen riding a bike south on Highway 16. If you see him, call 911. It's an effort that one man took on to honor his former classmate, Jennifer Delgado. The 7-year-old girl was killed at a local laundromat back in 1988, and her killer was never found. Last year, we told you that her classmate, Christopher Palmer, began raising money to get a street named after her. Well, City Council approved it earlier this year, and now a section of West Rock Drive, where that laundromat was once located, is now named Jennifer Sue Delgado Memorial Way. Yeah, many of you aren't just feeling the temperatures rise, gas prices. Yeah, those are also up. AAA is confirming that San Antonio hit another record, with the average price being $4.50 a gallon. That's a more than 30-cent increase from just a week ago. Analysts are predicting that prices are going to keep going up if drivers fill their tanks at their same pace. And here's the thing, though. Things could get even worse if hurricanes disrupt the supply chain. KSAT Explains takes a closer look at the rise in gas prices, and you can catch today's episode on KSAT.com. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Have you ever heard of Taco Land? Still ahead on the Nightbeat, 2 men killed at that once popular bar and local music venue. Tonight, the man on death row for those murders speaking for the very first time. The exclusive interview in the Taco Land murders. It's next on the Nightbeat. He's on death row for the double murders at a local music venue known as Taco Land. And now tonight, Joseph Gamboa is giving his first interview ever.
Now, you've heard from artists that used to play at the bar and heard about the doorman who was one of 2 men who were killed there in 2005. Our coverage continues tonight as Erica Hernandez brings us an exclusive interview with Joseph Gamboa.
I had nothing to do with this crime.
Over and over throughout our entire interview, Joseph Gamboa denying taking part in the 2005 murders and robbery at Taco Land on West Grayson Street.
Being in this position to be wrongful convicted of something that I didn't do, it's wrong.
He does admit being there with his friend Jose Nájera the night of the murders, but leaving before anything happened.
I was there. I never denied being there. I was there, and I played a game of pool, bought a beer, and left. And that was it.
Evidence and eyewitness accounts told a different story. Gamboa and Nájera entered the bar and began playing pool. But then Gamboa got into an argument with owner Ramiro Ram Ayala and shot him in the stomach. The 2 men then proceeded to rob the bar and shoot 2 other employees, Doug Morgan, who died of his injuries, and Denise Koger, who survived. Gamboa says that there were inconsistencies with the police investigation and that his trial in 2007 and appeal for retrial in 2013 were unfair and that Koger had misidentified him.
She gives an inaccurate honest identification of the person that did the crime. You know what I'm saying? I'm not 5'8". I'm not 5'7", 180, 190 pounds.
Gamboa's accomplice Jose Nájera pled guilty to this crime and took a plea deal for 50 years. He died in prison in July 2015. As for Gamboa, he waits the day either he gets a retrial or an execution date.
I'm just gonna leave this in the hands of God, and just let him guide the way like he has.
Gamboa, who's been on death row for 15 years now, is still fighting his conviction. He is currently on his 4th appeal. No execution date has been set. At the Pulaski unit, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
If you've missed any of the stories we've done on Taco Land today, our coverage continues on KSAT.com. We actually have some new pictures and details there as well. And tomorrow you can also listen in on new insight into Joseph Gamboa's interview in the South Texas Crime Stories latest podcast episode. That episode will be released tomorrow.
Razor-thin results in the runoff race that's gained national attention. The Texas Tribune is reporting that immigration attorney Jessica Cisneros will call for a recount in the race for District 23. She's up against incumbent Representative Henry Cuellar. Only 281 votes separated those 2 Democratic candidates. Cuellar's office released a statement saying in part, quote, "She has no path to victory and will not gain 281 votes. I welcome this process as it will only further verify our victory," end quote.
Can we get a weather recount? At least on the forecast. I know today's too late, but I mean, all right, it's 85 degrees as we look at the Botanical Gardens tonight. Beautiful shot from Sky 12.
Yeah, it's not so bad when it's 85 degrees,
Yeah.
but to go there during the day, triple-digit temperatures, no way.
A greenhouse is not where you want to be on a day.
Oh my goodness, a greenhouse right now. Oh, no thank you. Not during the heat of the day with the sun beating down on you. And today was a record-breaking day again here in San Antonio. A record high of 104, a record high for this day. Previous record 101 set back in 2018. Now the average high 92 degrees. We're going to be way above that by about 8 to 11 degrees in the days ahead. So let's talk about this. Elsewhere, Del Rio 110, that was a record. 106 Pleasanton. Cotulla made it up to 111 even throughout the hill country. We were 100 or higher. Right now, we're sitting at 85 degrees. And by the way, more triple digits are, of course, in the forecast, and some records will likely fall. But right now, that temperature's down a little bit to 85. Dew points up, however, as that sun sets, the air settles down. Doesn't mix as much. Dew points climb, so it is sticky out there. It feels like it's 5 degrees warmer than the air temperature. Here's the saving grace, though. We've got that bit of a breeze, east-southeasterly wind at 20 miles per hour, at times gusting even a little bit higher. Dew points, very muggy and sticky. They're at that just in the oppressive level with dew points in the lower 70s for most of us. Now tomorrow during the day, 7 a.m. dew points up there, oppressive, 72 degrees, but they're likely to fall off into the afternoon. We'll see some of that mixing, the drier air mixing down during the heat of the day. So the key here is the heat indices will probably be a few degrees lower than what we had today. It'll probably feel like it's close to 104 tomorrow afternoon, but at least we'll still have this wind. Look at the most recent gusts. Between 20 and 30 miles per hour in some places. Hondo gusting to 28. Seguin gusting to 24. Pleasanton gusting to 22. Even Cotulla gusting to 33. That's going to be the case through the night and even during the day tomorrow. So at least we'll have some movement to the air, some wind out there. Look at these temperatures now. Del Rio still at 97. Eagle Pass 93. As usual, typically warmer farther to the west, closer to the Rio Grande, and no exception this evening, that's for sure. 85 Rio Medina, 82 in Converse, officially 85 in San Antonio. Tomorrow morning, we'll be in the low to mid 70s, about 73 in Helotes and Rio Medina, around San Antonio, 75. By the afternoon, more of the same, back up to triple digits. South side of San Antonio, about 104. That'll stretch to Poteet and Pleasanton. 101 Helotes, even Bulverde, Bernie, 100. Kerrville, 101. I'm thinking about 102 here in San Antonio. And even warmer as we get up to this upcoming weekend. So no big changes. Yes, we'll fluctuate a degree or so here and there, but that's about it. Quiet weather pattern. Big Blue H is dominating us. That's going to be the case for the coming days. When that sits on us, the high gives us the dry conditions, presses down on us, and gives us some of our heat. So here's your 12-hour forecast. Some low clouds early at 75, but mostly sunny for most of the day. By noon, 93 degrees, and then 102 at 5 p.m. tomorrow with bright sunshine. The days that really stand out here are Wednesday, Friday, and Monday. That's when records are either going to be tied or even broken. So I do expect more record highs to fall.
You know, when you look at that, that's almost like, that's not that variable.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It's locked in there.
The whole week stands out, quite frankly. All right. So UTSA has some news.
Yes, they have a cover coach, if you will. Dave Campbell's Texas High School Football magazine, which is considered to be the Bible of Texas football, has him on the cover as a product of high school football that promoted to college. When we come back, we'll let you know right there who he's sharing the cover with, and another lawsuit for Deshaun Watson coming up. After leading the UTSA Roadrunners to a school record 12-win season, the Conference USA Championship for the first time, head coach Jeff Traylor is on the cover of Dave Campbell's Texas Football magazine. Considered to be the Bible of Texas football, Traylor shares the cover with Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire. They both rose from Texas high school football programs to become stars in college football, hence the headline forged on Friday. Traylor is about to start his third season at UTSA after being named the Conference USA Coach of the Year after finishing 2021 with a 12-2 record. The Roadrunners will kick off their 2022 season on September the 3rd against Houston at 2:30 in the Alamo Dome. This was Coach Traylor's reaction on Twitter today. From Big Sandy to Jacksonville to Gilmer to UTSA football. Only reason I am here is Texas High School Coaches Association coaches and their players. Congratulations to former UTSA head football coach Larry Coker. He's one of 9 coaches named to the 2023 ballot for induction into the College Football Hall of Fame. Coker was selected to start the UTSA football program back on March 6, 2009, leading to opening day, where a record of 56,743 fans fans filled the Alamo Dome on September the 3rd, 2011, to watch the Roadrunners beat Northeastern State 31-3. He also led Miami to a national championship in 2001.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
A 24th lawsuit has now been filed against Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson by another woman who claimed inappropriate sexual behavior during a massage. Originally, 22 women filed civil lawsuits against a former Texans quarterback, but now 2 more have been added since a story on Real Sports with Brian Gumbel. In that interview, 2 women were upset with the Browns for guaranteeing Watson $230 million after giving up 6 draft picks to the Texans. After 2 grand juries decided not to indict Watson on any criminal charges, the NFL is still investigating the matter and could suspend or fine Watson for violating the league's code of personal conduct. After 50 years in coaching, including 39 in the NFL, Romeo Crennel announced his retirement today. He's one of the most decorated assistant coaches in the history of NFL, as part of 17 playoff appearances, winning 5 of the 6 Super Bowls he coached in with the Giants and the Patriots, spending the last 8 seasons of his career with the Houston Texans. Here is his credentials with the Houston Texans, in part as also a defensive coordinator, assistant head coach, associate, and interim head coach. At 73, by the way, as interim head coach, the oldest in NFL history, and senior advisor for football performance. Romeo had this statement on retiring: "Football has been my entire life. It has been a dream come true to coach for 50 years. There's so many friends to thank who have helped me and supported me throughout my career. I would also like to thank my wife, Rosemary, and my 3 daughters, Lisa, Tiffany, and Christine, for all their support over the years. Because of their love and selflessness, I have been able to live out my dream." The connection one of the O'Connor Panthers state softball champs, have with the Texas Longhorns. Next. Texas softball has a chance to make history tonight if they can win 2 straight games against number 7 Oklahoma State. They'll become the first unranked team in history to play in the College World Series final. Game 1 went according to plan. Bottom of the second, 2 on. Courtney Day crushes the 9th pitch of the at-bat to deep left center and is gone for a 3-run home run to make it 3-0 Texas. The Longhorns force a winner-take-all Game 2 with a 5-0 victory there. That Game 2 right now is currently in action, and Texas has just taken the lead 6-5 over the Cowgirls in the top of the 5th. A future Longhorn helped O'Connor softball claim the program's first UIL state title on Saturday night. In the championship game, senior Leanne Good scored the Panthers' first run of the game on Jada Munoz's RBI single in the bottom of the first inning. Good posted 2 hits and drove in a run in a dramatic 7-6 victory over Lake Ridge. She then got to celebrate the end of her high school career at Red and Charlene McCombs Field in Austin, the same field she'll play on with the University of Texas.
Amazing. Home field, got to be a state champion before I even got to be a Longhorn. Absolutely amazing. There was never a doubt. I mean, these girls have worked day in and day out, and Jada and Sammy came through, so have all the other girls, and the excitement is running through the roof right now, and I'm just proud is an understatement. That's all I can say.
Congratulations. The NBA Finals will resume on Wednesday live here on KSAT 12. The Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors tied with 1 win apiece before the best-of-7 series continues now in Boston. This after the Warriors were able to win Game 2, 107-88, after a fierce third quarter in which Golden State outscored Boston 35-14. One of the biggest categories the Celtics must improve in Game 3 is turnovers. They gave up 19 in the game compared to the Warriors' 12, and the Golden State Warriors turned those 19 turnovers into 33 points. So here's a look at the NBA Finals as they play out for now. Game 3 will be Wednesday, 8 p.m. in Boston. Game 4, Friday, 8 p.m. in Boston. Game 5, we now know there will be a Game 5 Monday at 8 p.m. in San Francisco, all live right here on KSAT 12. So it's a series.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Greg.
You got it.
We're back in 2 minutes.
Tomorrow, Uvalde, Sabinal, 106, Floresville, 102, Seguin, 101. Around 102, I think, officially at the airport tomorrow. That would be 1 degree shy of the record, but obviously the record of 103 will be challenged tomorrow. Low 100s for the rest of the week, and even by this time next week.
Hats off to anybody working outside.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of tired of breaking records.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Let's go back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good night.